DPSP, Directive Principles of the State Policy. Introduction. The Directive Principles of the State Policy are in Part 4 of the Constitution from Article is 36 to 51. So the Directive Principles of the State Policies are from Article 36 to 51. It was borrowed from the Irish Constitution. So the DPSP is borrowed from the Irish Constitution. We'll be having the DPSP and it is borrowed from the Irish Constitution, which have copied it. Irish in itself is copied from the Spanish Constitution. Here we have mentioned that the DPSPs are in Part 4 of the Constitution, right? So the DPSPs are in Part 4 of the Constitution and they are from Article 36 to 51. Here the DPSPs are from Article 36 to 51. It was borrowed from the Irish Constitution, which had copied it from the Spanish Constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has described this principle as the novel features of the Indian Constitution. So the DPSPs are nothing but the novel features. They are the novel features of Indian Constitution. So the DPSPs are the novel feature of the Indian Constitution. Granville Austin is describing DPSP and fundamental rights as a conscience of the Constitution. So who has described over here? Granville Austin is the one who had described DPSP. He had described DPSP is as well as the fundamental right as a conscience. DPSP as well as the fundamental rights, it's a conscience of the Constitution. So who is coming into picture? Granville Austin is coming into the picture over here. And he is describing the DPSP and fundamental rights. Right. Now we have Article 36 to 51. Then the features of the directive principles are these are constitutional instructions to the state. So these are the instructions to the states in the legislative, executive and administrative matters. We are giving instructions to the state in the legislative matters, even in the administrative matters and the executive matters, right? So all the three types of instructions, constitutional instructions, it is related to the legislative, the instruction is related to the legislative, and the instruction is related to the executive as well as the instruction is related to the administrative. Resemble the instrument of the instructions of the Government of India Act 1935. Where the DPSP is resembling from the instrument of the Instruction Act of 1935. Now we have Article 36 is similar to Article 21, the definition of the state. Article 37 is DPSPs are fundamental in the governance of the country. Now first, what is a state? The definition of the state must be mentioned, right? So Article 36 is defining the state and Article 37. This article states that the DPSPs are very basic. The DPSPs are fundamental in the governance of the country. Basic in the sense they are fundamental for the governance of the country, right? The DPSPs are fundamental. Fundamental in the sense they are basic in the governance of the country is what we have Article 37. So we'll be having the Article 37. Now what is Article 36? Article 36 states that the definition of the state and Article 37 is related to DPSPs being fundamental in the governance of the country. We have the duty of the state to apply the DPSPs while making the laws. The duty of the state. So the state is having the duty to apply DPSP. The states are having duty. That is what they are saying that in Article 37. It is fundamental in the governance of the country. Governance of the country is carried out by the state. So it is the duty of the state to apply DPSPs while making the laws. Moral obligation on the state to apply the DPSP. Now we say that these DPSPs are going to resemble the instrument of the instructions of the Government of the India Act is going to be 1935. So they are resembling the instrument of instructions. This is going to be of the Government of India Act of 1935, right? The constitutional resemblance, the constitutional instructions are given to the state in the even the all the three matters: legislative, executive, and administrative. Legislative, executive, and administrative. Here we have instructions. What is the instruction? To use DPSPs in the governance of the state. Therefore, it is the duty of the state to apply DPSPs while making the law. Moral obligation on the state to apply the DPSPs aimed at achieving the justice, equality, and fraternity. The goals of the preamble is justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Liberty is guaranteed in the fundamental rights, and justice, equality, fraternity has been provided, which is the goal to be achieved, objectives to be achieved, objectives of the Indian Constitution. In that, liberty is focused by the fundamental rights, and we have equality and fraternity. Justice is by the DPSP. Now we have Article 36, right? Now what is Article 36? It is a definition of the state. What is Article 37? To use GPSP in the governance of the country. Now, what is the duty? The duty is to apply DPSPs while making laws aimed at objective, because they are aimed at achieving the justice, equality, and fraternity. Embody the concept of the welfare state. So they tell the concept of the welfare state, and they seek to establish the economic and social democracy. They aim for a welfare state, and they seek to achieve the economic and social democracy. What are the types of the democracy? Economic democracy and social democracy. Social democracy. Political democracy is being achieved with the help of fundamental rights. They are non-justiciable, non-enforceable. Two things: non-justiciable, and then we have them as we cannot enforce them, non-enforceable. So they are non-justiciable and non-enforceable. They embody the concept of the welfare state, and they seek to establish the economic and social democracy. Economic democracy, and then we have the social democracy. They are non-justiciable, and then they are legally enforceable. The courts use GPSP to determine the constitutional validity of the laws, right? If the court finds a law in the question seeks to give effect to the DPSP, it may consider the law reasonable in relation to Article 19 and 14, the saving of the law from unconstitutionality. Here, DPSPs, they are non-justiciable or non-enforceable. If they are non-justiciable and non-enforceable, what is the purpose of the DPSP? Here, the purpose of the DPSP is to determine the constitutional validity of a law. We have to see where the law is valid, right? So, when we are seeing the validity of the law, to find the court finds a law is giving effect to a directive principle, but there is some restrictions with respect to Article 14 and Article 19. The law is being considered valid to save such law from unconstitutionality. Now, the classification of the DPSP, the Constitution is not giving any classification, but they are classified on the basis of socialistic, Gandhian, and liberal intellectual. So, we have what is the type of classification? Socialistic, Gandhian, liberal intellectual. So socialistic, Gandhian, and then we have the liberal intellectual, right? Socialistic, Gandhian, and then we'll be having the liberal intellectual. Now what is a DPSP? They are for enforcing social and economic justice. Now, articles, when we are discussing about the articles, we know Article 36 is definition of the state, under same as under Article 12, and Article 37 is related to DPSP's using in the governance, in the law making. Now Article 38 is a socialistic principle, welfare of the people by minimizing the social order and permeated by justice, socio-economic and political, and to minimize inequalities in the income, status, and facilities and opportunities. No, in the preamble, justice, liberty, equality, right? Justice and equality, as it is mentioned in the Article 38. Now, Article 38, we have to promote for the welfare of the people by securing social order by permeated by justice. Now, the justice and opportunities, inequalities is spoken in Article 38. Now, what is Article 38? We say that the justice, and we say that inequality. Justice and inequality is described in Article 38, right? We'll be having the justice, and then we have inequalities described in Article 38. Justice is socio-economic political. Why we want these? This is for the welfare of the people. We want these for the welfare of the people. So Article 36 is definition of the state. Article 37 is use GPSP in the governance. Then we have to relate things like Article 38 is using justice, socio-economic political, and to justice is socio-economic political. And then to minimize the inequalities. So we'll be having the inequalities is going to be of the income, status and opportunity facilities. Income, status, facilities and opportunities. Article 38 is for justice and inequality. Right. Now Article 39 is to ensure adequate means of livelihood for all the citizens. While you are having livelihood, there is equal distribution of the materials of the material resource of the community. The community resources are equally distributed. Now, what is C? Prevention of concentration of the wealth and means of production. What is D? Equal pay for equal work for men and women. E is preservation of the health and strength of the workers and the children against forcible abuse. F. Opportunities of healthy development of the children. This is added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, and Article 39A is promote free legal aid is also added. Now we have 39F and 39A is added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. Now we know what is Article 38 is related to justice and inequality. 39 is first is going to be livelihood. For the livelihood, you need to have, we know 39B and 39C. 39B is going to be the equitable distribution of the resources of the community for the common good. Equitable distribution of the resources of the community. We have to equally distribute the resources of the community, and this is for the common good. So we say it as the equitable distribution of the resources of a community for the common good is what we have 39B. And 39C is going to be prevent the concentration of the wealth and means of production. And D is equal pay for equal work. E and F is what we have to remember. It is health and it is healthy, right? So preserve the health and strength of the workers and child against forcible abuse. What we have to preserve from the abuse? We need to preserve the health and the strength of the workers against the workers and the children. Health and the strength of the workers and the children against the abuse. Preserve the health and the strength of the children. So we need to have the health as well as the strength of the children against forcible abuse. Right. We need to preserve the health of the children, and then we also preserve the strength. Health and strength of the children and the workers against forcible abuse, opportunities for the healthy development of the children. And free legal aid is added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Now Article 41. We are seeing about the socialistic principles. Therefore, in socialistic principles, 38 is justice and equality. 39, here we are having the division. First, when you are having the livelihood, there should be equitable distribution of the resources. Equitable distribution of the resources. And once the resources are distributed, we need to have prevent the concentration of the wealth. We need to prevent the concentration of the wealth. Then once the concentration of the wealth is being prevented, we need equal pay for the equal work. Wealth is related to equal pay, right? Once equal pay is also done, we have to health and then the strength of the workers and the children from forcible abuse, opportunity for the healthy development of the children. Then we have free legal aid. 40 is a Gandhian principle, right? Now, when it is related to health, wealth, distribution of the resources, they are economic, social, they fall under the social category. Now, 41 is related to right to work is 41, right to education also, and public assistance in cases of the unemployment. I am working, I have education, but I am not having a job. Therefore, I need public assistance in case of the unemployment. We need to have public assistance in case of the unemployment, old age, they are very old, and there is sickness and disability, right? So under all these conditions we need to have the help when we need to give to secure our right to work and to education. First we are working and then we have the education. Right to work and education is article 41. We need to secure the right to work and then we need to have the education and public assistance in cases of the unemployment and old age when you are sick or disabled. Unemployment and old age, or they are sick or they are disabled, right? We'll be having the right to work under article 41. First, for work we need to have an education, and when you are having education you need a public assistance in case of unemployment, old age, sickness and disablement. 36 is related to the definition of the state. 37 is related to the DPSPs involving in the governance. 38 is justice and inequality. 39, when you have the livelihood. When there is a livelihood, we have to go for the equitable distribution of the resources. Equitable distribution of the resources, then we have to prevent the concentration of the wealth. Concentration of the wealth. Once we are preventing the concentration of the wealth, we need to have equal pay, equal work. And once the equal pay and equal work is achieved, health and strength must be protected and opportunities for developing the health of the kids, the children. And 39A is free legal aid. For legal aid, equal justice, right? To promote the equal justice, and we are providing the free legal aid. To promote the equal justice and to provide the free legal aid to the poor, it is added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, what is 41? 41 is related to the work. So when you are working, you need to have education. So when we are working, we need to have the education as well. And when education is present, but there is unemployment, old age, sickness and disablement, public assistance is needed over here. You are asking for the work, right? You have to work in certain conditions. It is called as just and humane conditions for work and maternity leave. Four, the four is giving two, so it is related to like maternity. 4.2 is related to maternity. Right, just and humane conditions for the work. I need proper conditions for the work as well. So I need proper conditions for the work and we need maternity relief. Now, what is 41? 41 is right to work. For work, I need to have education. And if there is unemployment, old age, sickness, and disability, I need public assistance as well. Now, what is 42 over here? Just and humane conditions of the work. We need to have proper conditions for the work, and then there is also a maternity leave as well. So just proper conditions for the work and then we need maternity leave as well. 43 is the living wage, a decent standard of the life and social cultural opportunities for the all the workers. Now we need to have a living wage, right? A decent standard of life and social and cultural opportunities for all the workers. A decent standard of life for workers. It is related to the workers. 4.3 is related to the workers. 4.3a is also like 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act is 39F. This opportunities for health of the children, and 39A is related to free legal aid. Then we have 43 which is related to the decent living wage of the workers, decent standard of life. We have the social and cultural opportunities for all the workers, the decent standard of life for all the workers. We need to establish a decent standard of life for all the workers. Now we have 43A. What is 43A? We need to secure the participation of the workers in the management of the industries. 43 is also workers and 43A is also workers. These workers are also the socialistic principles, right? So 43 what it is? we need to have a decent stand opportunities for the workers. And 43A, now 39 and then 43, all are more or less odd numbers. 3943, all are odd numbers according to the 43rd constitutional amendment, 42nd constitutional amendment act. So far we have seen three articles which has been implemented by the 42nd constitutional amendment act. Now we don't know what is 46th and we don't know what is 48th. Here we are discussing 47th. When we are seeing 40th article, we need to see what is 39 and what is 41. It is like a revision for 42 and then we are going for 44 as well. Right. 46 is not mentioned. So far we didn't study 46. Let us go for 47 is related to the standard of living of the people and the public health. When standard of living of the workers we have 43. The standard of living of the people and the public health is 47. We go for the standard of living of the workers. Workers is 43. 43A is participation of the workers in the industries, management of the industries. It is added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. 39F and 39A is added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. And 47 is related to improving the standard of living of the people, the standard of living of the people and improving the public health. Now, let us just recap the socialistic principles which we have seen. First, we are defining what is a DPSP to be used for. It is used for the governance, for the welfare of the people, right? And then we have in socialistic principles, 38 is related to justice and inequality. 39 is when you have livelihood, you have to have equal distribution of the resources to prevent the concentration of the resources. Equal distribution of the resources is to prevent the concentration of the resources. Equal pay for equal work. Then you have to have the preservation of the health of the workers and the children. When there is equal pay, health, and then the strength and healthy development of the children, and free legal aid is equal justice. Right. Now, 41 is related to right to work. It is related to right to work, to education, and to public assistance in cases of unemployment, old age, sickness, and disability. 41 is related to the right to work. When I was provided a right to work, that conditions must be just and humane. Okay, right to work and conditions for just and humane and maternity leave as well. Now, 43 is related to the standard of living of the workers. Now, 43A is participation of the workers in the industries. 47 is related to the standard of living of the people. In Gandhian principles, we have the 40 is organization of the panchayats. So what is 40? As far as 40 is considered, we need to organize the panchayats. 40 is related to organizing the panchayats, right? Now, what is 43? Now, when I told when we see 40, we have to see 39, right? In 39, the livelihood. The first is when you are having the livelihood, equitable distribution, and then we have prevention of concentration, equal pay for equal work, and when there is equal pay, health and the strength and health of the children. Then we have 39A, which is related to the free legal aid. And what is 41? 41 is related to the right to work and then education and public assistance in cases of the unemployment, old age, sickness, and disability. Now, 40 is completed. 40 is related to the organization of village panchayats. When we are organizing a village panchayats is when 40 is used. Now, what is 43? Cottage industries on individual or corporation basis. To promote the cottage industries in the individual or we have it in the corporation basis in the rural areas. So 43 is also related to the cottage industries, and again 43 is related to the just and I mean good conditions for the workers, right? Here we have decent wage, the standard of living of the workers, and 43A is related to the participation of the workers in the management of the industries and cottage industries, right? Promote the cottage industries and individual or cooperation basis in rural areas. Cooperatives are mentioned over here. So we can say that 43 again is cottage industries. So over here we have the cottage industries, cooperatives are mentioned in 43. Now, what is 43? After 43, we have 44 is Uniform Civil Code, and 43 is just and human condition for the work and maternity, maternity relief. 43B. Now, 43 is related to cottage industry, and we have workers. 43B, 43A is related to workers' participation in the management of industry is 46 in Constitutional Amendment Act. Now 43B is related to the cooperative societies, right? Now 43 in its entire, it is related to the workers, industries as well as the cooperative societies. 43 is related to the workers, 43B is related to the cooperative societies. 43A is workers in the industries management, and 43 again also consists of cottage industries. Now we have 46. We have seen 45. No, we didn't see 45. But we have seen 47, right? Now 47 over here, it is also the social principle. 47 is to raise the level of the nutrition in the and the standard of living of the people and to improve the public health. We need to raise the nutrition of the people. So 47 is rising the nutrition of the people and even the standard of living of the people. We need to raise the nutrition as well as we need to raise the standard of living of the people. Now, what again 47, once the people's nutrition is increased, you have to stop prohibit intoxicating drinks and drugs. For people's health, we need to have prohibition of intoxicating drugs. So to raise the standard of living of the people is when we are prohibiting the intoxicating drugs and drinks. Now, what is 46? 46 is to promote the educational and economic interest of the SC, ST, and welfare of the weaker sections of the societies. SC, ST, and weaker sections of the societies. Now, S 46 is SC, ST, and weaker sections of the society. 47 we have two people's standard of living and intoxicating drugs. SC/ST, right? Now 48, we'll be having the 48 is prohibition of slaughter of the cows, calves, and other milch slaughter, right? Now 48 also we have to improve the organized agriculture and improve the animal husbandry. When you are improving the animal husbandry, you need to prevent the slaughter as well, right? So 48 is going to have two things. 47 is related to liquor, people's health and liquor, and 48 is related to the uh, cattle breeds health, and then we'll be having the cattle breeds health, and then the agriculture, organizing agriculture and animal husbandry. Now, in the liberal intellectual is where we'll be having the Uniform Civil Code. The Uniform Civil Code is present in the liberal intellectual. And what is Article 45? Is related to the early childhood care and education for all the children until the age of 6 years. Till 6 years, we are giving the education to the children. 4, 5, then till 6 years, we are giving the early childhood care and education until 6 years. Prenatal care. I mean, not prenatal is a baby, right? Natal care of infant, infant care. Until 6 years, we are giving care under Article 45. Now, what is Article 44 is Dpsp. Article 46, we studied Article 46, right? Article 46 is related to SC, ST and other workers. So, 46 is SC, ST and other workers, right? Now, 45 again, we didn't see 45 so far. And 44 is Uniform Civil Code. 43 is related to the workers. 43 is having workers. 43 A is participation of the workers in the industries. 43 again is having cottage industries, and 43B is related to the cooperative societies. 43. 42 over here is work, standard of the work, just and humane work, and maternity relief. 41 is right to work. 40 is organization of the panchayats. We know what is 39. So 40 is organization of the panchayat. 41 is right to work. 42 is maternity relief. 43 is related to 43 is related to workers as well as the cottage industries, right? 43 is having workers, cottage industries, cooperatives. 44 Uniform Civil Code, 45 we didn't see it. 46 is related to SC/ST, 47 now 2 the standard of living of the people and intoxicants. 48 is related to the prohibit the slaughter of the cows and other mulch and drought. Now we have 44, 45 is early childhood care and we have seen just now early childhood care and education for the children until 6 years. So what until 6 years we need to give early childhood care. Again 48 we have organization of agriculture and animal husbandry. 48A is added. Now 39F is added. 39 a 43A is added. 48A is to safeguard, protect, improve an environment and to safeguard the forest and wildlife. This is related to the forest and then the wildlife, right? So to protect the forest and then we'll be having the wildlife is what we have the 48A. Protection and improve the environment, forest and wildlife. This is related to wildlife is what we'll be having the 48A. 49 is related to the monuments, 50 is separate executive from the judiciary, 51 is international peace. 49 is what to protect the monuments. 48A again has also been added by the to protect the environment, right? Now from the first 36 is definition of the state, 37 is related to DPSP and governance. 38 is justice and equality, 39 is having livelihood. Once the livelihood is being given, we have to go for the livelihood, equitable distribution of the resources and prevention of the concentration, equal pay for equal work, strength and health of the workers and the children from forceful abuse, opportunities for the healthy development of the children. Now this opportunity for the healthy development of the children is 39F. It is by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, and also the 39A is free legal aid is also by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act as well. Now we have 40, organization of the panchayats. We have the 41, right to work. 42 is maternity. 43 is related to workers. 43A, management of the management, participation of the workers in the management of the industries. 43 again is related to cottage industries. And we have 43B is cooperative societies. We have 44 uniform civil code. 45 is children under the age of 6 years. We have to give early childhood care and education. Now we have 46. 46 is SC/ST. 47 is related to the standard of living of the people, and it is also connected to the intoxicants, banning the intoxicants. 48 is related to the animals, right? Cattle breeds from 48 is related to protect the cattle breeds from slaughtering and protect it from slaughtering and agriculture as well as animal husbandry. 49 over here is related to the protection of the monuments. We have, sorry, 48A is there. 48A is protect the environment and 49 is protect the monuments. 50 is separate judiciary and executive. 51 is to promote internal peace and security. 48A is again by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, which mentions to protect the environment. Now, due directive principles which are added are 39 to secure 39F, 39A, 33A, and then we have 48A. Four directive principles are added. 39 we have to 43A and 48A. Now, 44th Constitutional Amendment Act is the one which inserted the second part. The state shall strive to minimize the economic inequalities in income and eliminate inequalities in status and facilities and opportunities. 86 Constitutional Amendment Act changed the subject matter and made like 21st Constitutional Amendment Act of compulsory. Now we have 97 Constitutional Amendment Act of 2011 is related to the cooperatives. Right. So 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, what does it speaks? 44th Constitutional Amendment Act speaks about the inequalities. Inequalities being added in the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, 38, Article 38. So we'll be having the Article 38 is adding the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. Is added by the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, the inequalities. Then 86th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2002, it changed the subject matter of 45 with related to the children under the age of 6, right? Now we have voluntary or compulsory provisions under Article 21A. 47th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2001 is the one which included the cooperative societies. Because they are not legally enforceable, it is a criticism for the directive principles, and they are illogically arranged as well. Conservative constitutional conflict. Utility of the directive principles, they are like instruments of instructions or general recommendations addressed to all authorities in the Indian Union. They have helped the courts in exercising their power of judicial review. They have formed the dominating background to all the state action, legislative or executive, and a guide to the courts in some respects. They amplify the preamble which solemnly resolves to secure all the Indians justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity when we have conflicts between the DPSPs and fundamental rights. Champaka Dorairajan case 1950, 1 Golaknath case 1961, 67, 1951. Champaka Dorairajan case, Golaknath case. We have 24th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1971. Keshavananda Bharati case, 42nd Amendment Act and Minerva Mills case. Right. We'll be having the Champakam Dorairajan case, Golaknath case. After the Golaknath case, to reply for the Golaknath case, the Parliament enacted 24th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1971, and we have the for this 24th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1971, where it was added Article 31C was added over here by the 24th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1971. We have Keshwananda Bharati case 1973 and 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Then we have the Minerva Mills case of 1980. The first one is the Champakam Dorairajan case. Everywhere when the Supreme Court is answering a case, Supreme Court is giving a verdict, it will say that the fundamental right is greater than DPSP, except finally it is accepting and it is creating a balance in Minerva Mills case of 1980. So when Champakam Dorairajan case, it will tell that fundamental rights are greater than DPSP. But whether the fundamental rights are amendable by the Parliament, it told yes, fundamental rights are amendable by the Parliament. Followed by we will be having the Golaknath case is where it told no. Only one time it told no. That is in the Golaknath case. That is why we have the 24th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1971, which made Parliament can amend the fundamental rights. Right. Now, only in the Golaknath case of 1971, it said that the fundamental rights are not amendable. Other than that, it was